Hello there, it's Claire here from My Creative Spirit with a video on how to make postbound albums, well, my size postbound albums. This one, altered in the Cityscapes papers, has recently featured on the Graphic 45 blog. As you know, I'm a Graphic 45-aholic. Love, love, love their papers and all that you can do with them. So this little album is holiday featured, focused, made from the Cityscapes papers, and there's 6 pages inside it. But the lovely thing with postbound albums is you can add as many pages as you like and just keep extending the posts. So I'm just going to show you how to make a basic 6-page album. There are instructions for this this particular album on my website. So if you wanted to make this one in particular, you can purchase the instructions, and I'll put the link to those in the description below the video. So that's one idea, and I'll just show you another couple. This one, let's get it the right way round, was made from their Amour papers, Graphic 45 again, and I've just chosen black and cream as my colour base, and each page has got a lovely oval that takes a 7x5 photograph, and there's acetate in the front there. Instructions for this one are also on my website. Again, I'll put the link below. I've used the ephemera cards and then just 2 papers, the black and cream one and the one that's got the gorgeous roses on. So this would make a lovely wedding gift for bridesmaids, grandmas, as a memento, or even an anniversary memento as well. So again, I only put 6 pages in them, but you could add as many as you like. So those are both 7 by 10 size, and then this little one is 7.5 by 5. Same principle, little posts, but I've used the World's Fair collection to alter it, and I've used lots of the pockets and tags and chipboard elements in here as well. But again, it's got acetate fronted photo slots to put your pictures in. Let's just pull this little tag out. So you can see you can slide your pictures in really easily, and then they become the focus of the page, which of course is what all my albums are all about. So I've got little chipboard pieces here, and then the cutout from the frame's cut out of cardstock, makes the little tag if you want to add tags to your pages as well. So really cute little album, this one. I've used the patterns and solids papers as well for the plain pages. So lovely little keepsakes, really easy to make. So let me take you through how to put one together. Pull the pieces in. So I'm going to show you how to make the larger one, and then you could scale down to make smaller ones or even larger ones if you wanted to. So the first thing that you need is 2 sheets of cardstock and 2 sets of chipboard pieces. We also sell the packs of the chipboard covers, 10 by 7 chipboard covers, and 2mm or 3mm posts, so that you can buy the pack, buy the kit, and start crafting straight away. I'll put the description or the link to the kits with the posts underneath the video as well for you. So to start, read through the instructions of what you need to cut from your cardstock, and we'll start off with one large piece, one of the 2-inch pieces that are 9 3/4 deep, and then one large chipboard album cover and one of the small ones. And first thing you need to do is join these pieces together with some double-sided tape. So let's get started and do that. I'm just using 7mm tape, but you could use any width. I wouldn't recommend doing this with glue, purely because the glue gets everywhere. Well, it does in my case. So let's take off the backing strip, and you just overlap that little piece over the tape. And then we're ready to put, I always have, I'll work your way, I always have my join to the left, and then it gets covered by the smaller piece of chipboard. So then we need to take our glue. Let me just grab mine. And on the large piece of chipboard, I'm just going to put some tacky glue. You don't need to have a lot. It doesn't need to be dripping in glue, just a little bit, just to hold the chipboard onto the card, or cardstock. Smooth it down and position it to the right, and give yourself a sort of inch in from sides, top and bottom of cardstock. Press it down and then take your double-sided tape. Now this is 7mm tape, and I'm going to put 2 strips right up on the left-hand side of the album cover, and I'm going to leave the backing paper on, the backing strip, like that. And that's the gap that we're going to create is really important, because this whole section is going to fold right over and close on this side, and you don't want it to split. So I'm going to stick this piece, it's got my holes in, down at the very edge of the left hand piece of tape. So that's sort of my guide, really. Like that. Don't forget to get your edges central as well, so that they're even running across. So stick those down and then take your tape. Now, I'm a lazy crafter and I take tape straight along, especially this red line tape in particular. I take it straight along and around the corner, only because, so it goes around the corner in one go, only because we're going to cut the corners off in a minute, and we'll cut off those curvy bits. But it does mean that when you take your tape backing off, you only have to pull the lining paper or the backing off in one go. So it just makes it quick. It just comes off all in one go. Yee! How good is that? And then, if you're not very good at cutting, give yourself a cutting line as a guide to cut from, and you want to leave an eighth of an inch of chipboard of cardstock showing under your chipboard corner. You don't want to trim off your cardstock so that it is level with that chipboard corner, because if you do, when you fold your corners in, you will see a chipboard line. So you want to leave either a ruler's width or a scissors width of cardstock showing in that corner. So draw a line with your ruler if you're not confident in cutting where you need to, or just snip away with your scissors if you are. Get rid of those sticky corners. Really sticky. Let's get them out of the way. Oh no, ripping the paper. There. And then you've got your cover all ready to stick together. So I always start with my long sides, fold up and away from myself, start the fold going, turn round and do the other long side. And then from the top and from the middle, I fold the cardstock over onto the chipboard and stick it down. And then turn around and do the same on the other long edge. And that will give you little triangles of cardstock sticking out over the end of your chipboard. And you want to just flatten them and push them towards the centre of the chipboard around the corner. So do that with all of them. You can use your scissors to do that, or your fingers, or a ruler, or a bone folder. And then when you've pushed your little corners in, just lift up and just start that fold going. You can use your bone folder to really crease it if you want to, and then fold it over like that. And do the same on the other end. So lift it up and then fold it over. And that way you'll have really nice sharp corners. And then you need to punch your holes. So if your cardstock's gone over the holes, re-punch them. I like to use my crocodile. Any hole punch will work. Let's just get a bit out of the eye here so I can see. So I'm just going to line it up over the hole that I've punched already and re-punch. All the little bits get stuck in. Let's get the scissors in. They always get stuck in here. They used to drop out by themselves, but they don't anymore. And let's re-punch this one. Like that. And then I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to roll that cover over. And that way it won't rip. You get a really nice curved edge here. And then the last thing to add is the cover for the inside. So it's cut slightly smaller. You'll have cut 2 of them, and I like to stick it in with double-sided tape. So I'm going to put a strip of tape across the middle there just to hold it in place when it gets stuck down. And then I'm just checking the cardstock has got a slightly textured surface and a smooth surface. So if your cardstock that you're using has got different textures, just check which side you're going to have showing before you start putting tape on the other. And then this time I'm cutting the tape because I want it to sit perfectly around the corner, perfectly at the corners. I'm cutting it so that it will sit really nicely. I don't know why I'm using this one actually, because I was out at a workshop at the weekend and came home with rolls of score tape, which you can tear. So I should be using that, but I'm not. I think it's still in the car. And then I'm going to put just a strip just down the edge of the narrow chipboard section, just to hold the cardstock in place on there as well. And then take all of your backings off. And off here. I think you just have to be ruthless, don't you, with this tape? You just have to grab it with your fingers and pull it off. And then you want to centre this over those 2 pieces, over the base. Now you want to get it lined up with the right hand side, because that's the side that you're going to see rather than the left hand side. Because I've used Kaiser card, I've got that light coloured point of sale strip on my little extra bit of cardstock, but it's going to get hidden in a minute. So stick that down nicely, and then once again you need to repunch your holes. So let's unblock the hole punch. It's quite easy to do. You can sort of feel where the hole is. You can feel whether you've got your hole punch in the right way or the right position as you start to push the crocodile together. Just unblock. That's it. Okay. And punch again. And then I'm going to take the pencil and roll that cover around it again. Just, it doesn't want to bend. The key thing with the album is that you have that nice big gap here so that your end piece can fold over. if you've got your chipboard pieces too close together, when you do this, they'll rip down the, you can't see, they'll rip down the sides. So just be mindful of leaving a bigger gap than you normally would if you're making an album. So let's get that nice and smooth. And so that's one cover done. Now it's all falling off the table. Okay. And I've got the second one here that I'm just going to stick the backing on. So this time I'm going to put a strip of double-sided tape just down there, as well as one down this side. And I'm just keeping the tape on the chipboard so it doesn't, there's no chance of it showing through at the top and the bottom of the cover that I'm going to add. Just move that out of the way. Go around the edge here. Nearly done. And the last one. Oops. Sticky. Take off your backings. Let's take them off here as well. Lift up. And remember, line it to the right, or line it up to the right, rather than the left. Give it a good press down. And then take your pencil and just roll this end round, just very gently. Once you've rolled it, then you can take the pencil out and it will just sit flat. Let's repunch the holes. Give it a poke. And repunch. So now let's bring the other cover in. We've got two covers, one for the front, one for the back. And hopefully our holes will line up. So if you put them together like that, the holes should be in the right place. So decide which is going to be your back cover and your front cover. Cut your 6 pages so they are slightly smaller, and use one of your offcuts, fold it in half as your page cover. So that just covers the ends of the pages that are going to sit this end of your album. And then, oh, my cardstock went funny. You want to punch these holes. So they're going to sit on here. So I'm going to position, let's just turn it round. I'm just going to position the pages. I'm going to close the bottom album. Let's do it this way so you can see. So this is going to be my back cover. I'm going to close that down, centre it up, put my pages over the top so that they come in a 1/4 of an inch from the left hand edge, and they sit nicely on the album cover, the back album cover, and then I'm going to hold them, don't move them, flip them over without moving them, and just use a pencil to mark. Have I got a pencil? I haven't got a pencil, but I can't move. So I'm going to try and use a marker. But have a pencil ready. I'm just going to put a hole mark through those holes there so that I can punch the holes in the page. So hold those together and then punch the holes in my pages. That's one. And now we're ready to assemble the album. So we've got pages all ready, album covers all ready. All we need now are our album posts. So I'm using 2mm posts. So start with your back cover, open the flap out and push your posts through from the bottom. Fold it down, grab your pages, make sure they're all lined up, and then slot them on. Now you might need to make your hole just slightly bigger for everything to fit over the posts. If it doesn't fit, mine's a bit tight. So if I am going to need a pencil now, let me just grab one. It doesn't need to be a pencil with a point, it just needs to be a pencil that you can just push in slightly to stretch the hole slightly, and then push your pages onto the post like that, and then I'm just going to do the same up here. So just go round and round and round, stretch the hole, and then fit your pages onto the post like that. Just check that they're sitting nicely on the cover. Now if they're not, mine are slightly wonky, so I'm going to take them off and just make this hole slightly larger. The holes get hidden, so I'm just going to punch the hole slightly further forwards so that the pages just tilt slightly. So you can just sort of do it by little bits. Pop it back on again. That's better. Now they're sitting straight. And then bring your cover in, and with the cover open to the left, pop it over the holes, over the posts. Let's get the post straight. That's it. I didn't think it was going to go on. And then just check that it's all fitting straight. And all you need to do then is just do up your posts. So put the tops on. This is always a bit fiddly. Now don't be alarmed if your posts are too long for the album at this stage. Remember, we haven't decorated any pages, so as the pages are decorated, it will push the album up and it will take up that space under the posts. So let's tighten it up. And then there it is. One postbound album ready to decorate. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. Thanks for calling by. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up and leave a comment and subscribe to my channel as well, and then you'll be kept up to date with all the new projects that I bring out as well. Anyway, thanks for watching.